The Rockets have made some interesting moves this offseason. General Manager Daryl Morey, though, he's never done till he's done. And for those of you who've been a little critical of his offseason, we'll take a listen of what he had to say.
When you're trying to win a title, there's always fine-tuning. You can always get better. We have all our draft picks going forward, so if something presents itself that allows us to make a trade to improve the team, we're not going to hesitate to do that. And I think a lot of times people try to make their team perfect from day one. We try to add a bunch of players we think can contribute and then tweak it as you go down the season and hopefully peak in April as we go into the playoffs.
And guys, there's some GMs where you think they were just kind of talking around something or making excuses for a summer that was catching some heat. And by the way, I mean, it's not like every move he's made caught heat. But instead, the Ariza letting him go and Mamute going, a lot of people have been wondering where their defense is going to come. With Daryl, you know he means what he says because he has done it over and over again, changed things in the middle of the season. If you were giving him a to-do list, Paul, what would you say they actually have to acquire to be competitive with the Warriors?
They have to find, they're always in need of 3-and-D guys. You know, you need as many of those guys as you can have, especially when you have Chris Paul and James Harden, doing all the playmaking. And you lost 2 of them. You lost Trevor Ariza and Mbama Moute. And so if you can find another guy who can fill that role, a 3-and-D guy, because, Melo's coming in. He's not really known for being a defensive specialist, and then that guy can take pressure off James Harden. Now it's going to be more pressure on James Harden to guard the top wingmen because you lose 2 defenders. So maybe his offense may suffer because of that, but you need to get another perimeter guy that you can say, all right, we need this guy as a defender and can knock down threes, and that's what they're missing. They need more of them.
Daryl Morey sounds like me after my fantasy football draft. Like, I'm ready to make moves, But, I mean, if I'm one of the players, I'm like, dang, I just got here. Can I, go to practice first before you talk about trading me? But that's the thing that makes him a great GM is he's not scared to make moves. See what he could do. I like their team right now. Yeah, they could get better defensively. Ennis could maybe be a surprise for them. I think Marquise Chris is going to be great for them. He's actually more athletic than Capela. He is going to run the floor well. Having him come off the bench, I think now he will finally break through as a really good player.
And this makes me think about, when we put together the team with Ray, Eddie House, Kevin, we thought we had the perfect team, but no, Danny was like, no, we need to get better. We had the best record in the league, but in the middle of the season, we brought on P.J. Brown. Right. So that was a key addition. Sam Cassell.
Yeah,
that was
I remember a playoff game. P.J. won by himself for you, right?
I mean, and we had the best record. So I understand when he says always trying to fine tune it. So if you have to find that veteran presence that can help you get over the top, such as P.J. or Sam Cassell, then you do it.
I mean, I know little tinkering roster moves are not the sexiest part of, following the NBA for people, but when you have this impossible standard of the Warriors existing, possibly the best team of all time on paper, and just in terms of the roster and what's put together, Daryl Morey is one of the few GMs in the NBA who, from the jump, has been like, oh no, I can try to take that. Almost came within a game of doing it last year, so I'm curious to see what he does this year.
But see, now the Rockets are in a position now that when the trade deadline comes and passes, and that there's that second trade deadline to me is when everybody gets waived.
Right.
They're a team that all the elite guys that are cut or get buyouts are going to consider. So that perhaps.
But are those guys are guys you can help? If you're a guy getting cut and you're getting bought out, is that a guy that can help?
There's typically 1 or 2 good players in that mix.
I mean, you look at what Gerald Green did for them last year, right? That's a guy who was sitting at home.
He was.
Right.
I'm not saying you're going to get LeBron.
We kind of negotiated that, I think. I think we kind of
There's another story to that.
That's another story.
See, what had happened was.
And that's what the Rockets can do now because they have an elite team.
Well, your point about them putting players who maybe have a limited scope of what they can do, they put those guys in a position to succeed. I mean, that's really the key, right? The good teams find a place for guys like that who only they ask them to do what they can do and aren't asking them to do a whole bunch of other stuff. We'll see if it works.